What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Aryan Dakhare and today we are diving deep into the tech that's literally blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds, artificial and virtual reality. Whether you are a developer or just a tech enthusiast, understanding the hardware and software backbone of VR is essential. Let's break down how the magic actually works. Here is our roadmap for today's. We will start with what and how of VR architecture, then move into the heavy hitting hardware, HMDs, GPUs and sensors. Later on, we'll look at the software engine like Unity and Unreal that brings this world to life, and wrap up with rendering pipelines and networking tech making wireless VR possible. So, what is VR? At its core, it's a computer-generated 3D stimulated that tricks your brain into thinking you are somewhere else. It relies on three: immersion, interaction, and imagination. But to keep you from getting motion sick, the tech has to hit some tight space. We need at least a 110-degree field of view, a frame rate of 90 fps or higher, and most importantly latency under 20 milliseconds. Think of a VR system like a high performance stack. At the top you have the user layer, the gear you wear. This communicates through the software layer where engine like Unity or Urals resides. Down the system layer of drivers and OS. Finally, it all sides on the hardware layer, the ray power of the GPU and CPU pushing those pixels. The HMD is the start of show. We are talking dual OLED or LCD panels delivering 2K to 4K resolutions per eye. Friends, freshen lens create that sense of depth while IMU sensors, accelerometers and gyroscope track your every head tilt. Whether it's standalone MetaQuest 3 with its own Snapdragon chip or a PC powered value index, the HMD is your portal. How does the world know where you are? We use infrared and depth sensors to map your room. For movement, we have inside out tracking where cameras on the headsets do the work, or outside in user external base stations for pinpoint precision. You are not just looking around, you are moving through space. VR is resource hog. Your GPU has to render two high resistance image stimulatively at 90 fps. You are looking at an RTX 3070 or better. The CPU handles the game, logic and spatial audio. There is even a small bottleneck. Here you get frame drop, and in VR that means instant headache. On the software side, Unity is the king of mobile VR with its massive asset stores. You want AAA Hollywood level visuals. Urinal Engine 5 is the way to go with it, natty and Luminatech. And for those who don't want to install anything, WebXR lets you run VR right on your browser. To make development easier, we use OpenXR. It's an industry standard that let one codebase work across different headsets. We also use specialized middleware FMOD for 3D spatial sound and physics to make sure when you drop a virtual ball, it bounces like a real one. Beyond controllers, the future is wild. We have data gloves and that measures fingers by bending, and omnidirectional treadmills so you can actually walk miles while staying in your room. On the output side, we see haptic suits that let you feel the digital world, and even experimental synth device to make experience truly 4D. The rendering pipelines is a race against time. The CPU processes the logic, the GPU cellular objects you can't see to save power, and then resist this 3D geometry into 2D pixels. To kill latency, we use time wrap or reprojections, which predicts where your head will fraction of a second early to keep visual smooth. Wireless is the future. Wi-Fi 6E and 5G provides the high bandwidth and 1 millisecond latency needs needed for streaming. Cloud rendering is the real game changer. It offloads the heavy process to remote servers, so even a lightweight headset can play the most demanding games. For the $3,500 Apple Vision Pro Spital computer to consumer friendly MetaQuest 3, the market is exploding. We have the View Pro 2 for ultra high 5K resolutions and the value index of industry leading finger tracking. There is headsets of every niche now. To wrap it up, reminder: hardware is the body, the physical sensors and display. Software is the soul, the code and engine that manages the experience. Hardware is limited by physics and cost, while software is updated instantly via patches. VR is no longer science fiction. As hardware gets lighter and software gets smarter, we are looking at the next major computing platform. Thank you for watching. I am Aryan Dakhare and I will see you in next one.